Hello everyone, my name is Zain Afshin and I am a student at Minnesota State University Moorhead. I am majoring in economics and I am in my senior year. This is my research project for my senior seminar class. The topic of my research is evaluation of predictors of international students' socialization with host national students. So initially, I was going to do a survey at MSUM to find out or to evaluate, to examine the variables that previous studies has shown that has um, influence on the socialization of international students with host national students. But we had to face the pandemic situation. The campus was closed, the classes were moved to online classes. So we made two assumptions after that. One was that we will not get the significant response from the student. And the second was that the response we will get from the students would not be the natural response that would have been without the pandemic situation. So that could made our results kind of doubtful. So we decided to switch our study to a literature review. In this study, I have done a comparison and contrast among the United States and other countries. How do they see socialization of international students with domestic students? So here is the background of my study. I found some amazing facts. One of those is United States hosted 28% of the global international students population in 2018 and 19. And in 2018 and 19 academic year, international students made up to 5.5% of total higher education population in the United States. And then if we talk about the number, I found a huge number. United States hosted 1,095,299 students, international students in 2019. This number was huge and surprising for me. If we talk about the connection between economics and international students, then international students made a contribution of $4.4 billion to the United States GDP in 2018. This could be from the money that international students bring from their home countries to the United States to pay for their tuitions and other expenses, or this could be the money from the jobs international students do on and off campus for their internships or their practice in the United States, and they pay the taxes and stuff. Hosting international students also means importing human capital from other countries. Like students in other countries with less facilities or less opportunities, with the skills and talent, are looking for the opportunities and the facilities to pursue their goals or objectives or their dreams. And United States provide them the opportunity and the facilities to work on their dreams or objectives or whatever they have in their mind, and they come up with amazing results. So this is how a combination of talent and opportunity gives you an amazing results. Interaction between international and national students is also associated with many social and psychological benefits. That includes intercultural experience. Students from different cultures sit together and talk to each other, and they share their cultural experiences with each other. Um, Interaction between different cultures also help to develop the skills, because students, when they talk to each other, they talk that how do they face different kind of situations, how do they make decisions for different kind of situations, and they come up with better ideas. Socialization between national and international students also results in less homesickness, less stress, less depression, and altogether all the factors help to perform better in their academics. Better connections or better communication between individuals from different cultures is also important to improve intercultural behavior. Like when students or people from different cultures sit together, they communicate to each other, they socialize with each other. You will find less prejudice, less stereotype, and less racial discriminations. I call these three factors as anti-diversity factors, and intercultural socialization works as a spray that kills all these factors like prejudice, stereotypes, and racial discrimination. Many studies across the world have examined variables that affect socialization among international and national students. This study mainly focuses on four variables, and those are self-esteem or self-confidence, how much a student um, involves in campus activities, and perceived discrimination. It means that if a student has in mind that there will be discrimination with him or her, even if there is not a discrimination at all, student will be kind of timid to make connections with host national students. And the fourth one is perceived cultural gap. It's the hypothesis that if a student, for example, if a student comes from Canada to United States for study, will socialize easily than a student who comes from Middle East, because a student from Middle East would have more, uh, would perceive more cultural gap between United States and the Middle East. So here are again the facts, amazing facts that I found. These are the top four destination countries worldwide for international students. This data is from 2018 and 2019. So United States hosted 1,094,792 students in 2018, and this number increased to 1,095,299 students in 2019. There was an increase of 0.05% from 2018 to 2019. United Kingdom hosted 496,570 students in 2019, and their number of international students decreased by 2% from 2018 to 2019. China hosted 492,185 students in 2019, and their number of international students also increased by 0.6%. Canada hosted 435,415 students in 2019. What surprised me here was the percentage increased in the number of students in number of international students in Canada. That increased by 17.5% from 2018 to 2019. But there is another amazing fact, and that is even after increasing students by 17.5%, it could not match the number of students in the United States. And if we add the students of Canada and China together, still it cannot beat the number of international students in the United States. This shows that how much the world loves United States, and they want to come here to explore and to enhance their skills and to have better educational experience. To identify socialization of international students to host universities, we conducted a search using EBSCO. We looked into three databases. One was EconLit, second one was Psych Articles, and the third one was Education Research Complete. We looked for the articles published between January 2000 and February 2020. For the research, we used the terms foreign or international students and college or university or higher education and social or psychology or adjustment. So as you can see, like there are stars next to some words like adjustment at the end. It's just the adjust and the star. So I came to know about this from Stacy Wohler, who is a professor and librarian at MSUM. She has been amazing. She was even helping me out during the Easter break for my research. She deserves a shout out. So she told me that some people type adjusting, some people would mention adjustment in the title of the research article. So if we type down part of the world and make a star at the end, that helps us find both adjusting and adjustment. Same goes with the student and students and university and universities and college and colleges. So, from the United States, I found 147 articles in total. 63 of those articles did not have full text, so I had to exclude them. 80 articles were not relevant to my study, so I had to exclude them too, and I ended up with 4 articles only. Same goes with the United Kingdom. There were 99 articles in total. 37 of them did not have full text, 60 were not relevant to my study, and I ended up with 2 articles from United Kingdom. China had 163 articles in total, 42 did not have full text, and 119 were not relevant to my study. A reason for not being relevant to my study was that there were most of the studies done by other countries about the Chinese students. How do they adjust to their cultures when they come from China to their countries? And I ended up with 2 articles only from China as well. From Canada, I found 86 articles, 34 did not have full text. I found 50 articles not directly related to my research. So I added up with 2 articles from Canada. In total, I had 10 articles, and these 10 articles were published between January 2017 and February 2020. So 10 articles from 3 years and a month averaged to 3.4 articles per year. 8 studies were surveys, 1 was in-person interview, and 1 was a literature review. The interview was from China and the literature review was from the United States. I found that language is a huge problem for international students living in China because Chinese language is a completely different language. It's a tonal language and it's really hard to learn their alphabets as well. And the international students in China reported that they are less satisfied with academics in China than Western countries. One reason here again was the language. They said that the Chinese teacher who tried to teach in English language, mixed English language with Chinese language, and it's really hard to understand what they are saying, and it is really difficult to communicate with them. So they don't communicate or socialize with Chinese as much as they can in other Western countries. Again, all 10 articles suggested that international students actually seek adjustment. They want to socialize with domestic students. They want to adjust with domestic culture, but there are barriers like self-esteem or self-confidence, perceived cultural gap, perceived discrimination, and less campus involvement. Um, Also, 10 articles suggested that the students do adopt the domestic culture. Eventually, they adopt the habits or norms of the domestic culture, like the students who go to study to China have reported that when they go back to their countries, they start drinking warm water with the tea bag in that. The studies included in this review show the increase in significance of acculturation. I found the studies from Turkey, Malaysia, India, China, UK, Canada. They are focusing on the acculturation because this leads to the diversity and this leads to better production and better ideas, and it leads uh, to bring the world closer. I feel that this study is going to be very useful for faculty, staff, and students for universities, as we have a class that is called First Year Experience, also known as FYE, we can make we can add a topic called diversity or acculturation into that class, so that students know that how to communicate with other students, or the international students who are coming from the other countries would know that what are the norms in the United States, or the students of the United States would know that students coming from the different countries, what do they have, how do they communicate, what do different symbols mean into that in their countries. I so this thing can bring the students together and make it easier for them to socialize with each other. Um, Acculturation also enhances the university experience for both international and national students. Um, when they come together, when they socialize with each other, they get to know about the whole world. It's like visiting the whole world, sitting at the same place. They can talk to each other about different events, cultural norms, and about different kind of cultural festivals, and how do they see the global warming in their countries, how do they see the environmental sustainability in their countries, and they can talk about these things and come up with new ideas. At the end, I could not stop myself from adding this bullet point into my discussion, that is COVID-19 update. My hypothesis is COVID-19 pandemic is gonna decrease the number of students, or the global population of international students, as most of the students would love to stay at their homes, and most of the countries would like not to have more people traveling in or out of the country. And this is the conclusion. Acculturation leads to positive outcomes, and intercultural socialization enhances the quality of education overall. And if you increase the quality of education, definitely you are increasing the quality of the human capital in a country, and they can lead to better production, better technology, and better ideas, better opportunities for others. These are the references of the studies that I included into my studies. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful one.